Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Metropolis Radio. Today is going to be another James Bond heavy day, and we're going to start off today by looking at this. Amazon promised all James Bond movies will release theatrically. Longtime James Bond producer Barbara Broccoli states that Amazon are committed to theatrical releases for future films in the long-running franchise. According to longtime James Bond producer Barbara Broccoli, Amazon will continue to ensure that future films in the franchise receive theatrical releases. The multinational conglomerate purchased MGM Studios in May of 2021, which co-owned the rights to the James Bond franchise with Broccoli's Eon Productions. That's Everything or Nothing Productions, for those who don't know. Broccoli has produced many of the franchise's films, starting with GoldenEye in '95 to the upcoming No Time to Die, set for release on October 8th of 2021. Amazon purchased Hollywood studio Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, that's MGM, in May 2021 for a total of $8.45 billion. Well, yeah, I had heard that MGM had ran into a lot of financial problems because they kept delaying No Time to Die, so that probably saved them from outright closure. Following reports that parent company MGM Holdings were searching for a sale in 2020, the purchase gave Amazon access to MGM's extensive catalog, including the Rocky franchise, The Handmaid's Tale, Nia DaCosta's Candyman, and the James Bond franchise. The company had confirmed that No Time to Die would receive a theatrical release upon the purchase, and has now reiterated their commitment to bring the spy's future adventures to the big screen. As reported by Deadline, Broccoli discussed the franchise's future when talking to British broadcaster Sky ahead of No Time to Die's premiere. The producer told the broadcaster when discussing the streaming versus theatrical debate that each film will be made with theatrical releases as the primary focus in mind. Broccoli then reiterated Amazon's previous assurances, saying the company has told her that any future James Bond films will receive theatrical releases. Despite this, Broccoli did end her response by saying they'll see what happens, leaving room for any future changes. And here's what Barbara Broccoli said, quote, "We focused on making the films for theatrical release, and I think that's our position. Amazon certainly have told us that the films will be theatrical films in the future, and we'll see what happens," end quote. Concerns about the future of the franchise first came following news of MGM's purchase. Former James Bond writer John Logan expressed concerns regarding Amazon helming the franchise, sharing his fears in an essay in the New York Times. Logan compared the creative process behind the franchise as more familial rather than the process behind other major franchises, such as the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Star Wars, stating he and producers Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson had in-depth, passionate discussions over the film's directions. Logan feared Amazon taking control would lose this element of the process, sacrificing originality and artistic creativity for a safe, mass appeal customer experience. But again, if they only own, I believe MGM only owned the distribution rights to James Bond. I don't think it has any creative. I don't think it can invoke creative control. I think that's left to Eon Productions, if I'm not mistaken. Questions about the future of James Bond are an understandable concern within the current landscape of the film industry for a multitude of reasons. Logan's concerns are rooted in recent changes in the industry, such as the Walt Disney Company canceling many smaller films following the 20th Century Fox acquisition, all the while keeping major franchise productions such as James Cameron's Avatar sequels. Concerns have also been expressed over the future of theatrical releases following studios rethinking strategies in the wake of closures due to the COVID-19 pandemic, with No Time to Die's release being a point of concern for British theaters. With changing strategies and companies seemingly focused on creating a pipeline of reliable, familiar releases, the future of franchises like James Bond will remain a hot topic in the industry for years to come. But see, here's the thing though, is that, James Bond is not a little franchise, like they said here, all the while keeping major franchise productions, instead of, canceling many smaller films. Again, the James Bond franchise has been around now for damn near 60 years. It's not exactly a small little franchise. Now, do I think that this approach can work, leaving the movies as theatrical only? And I actually believe so, because James Bond at this point is such an institution that it might not, that it's keeping it theatrical only for a while is not going to hurt James Bond. In fact, it might help preserve that legacy up until when the time inevitably comes when theaters are gonna fall out of favor. But when that time is gonna happen, well, I really don't know, and neither and nobody can truly predict it. Anyone who tells you that the movie theater experience is going to go the way of the dodo by 2022 or 2023, I would argue is lying to you. And guys, that's pretty much all I've got for you. If you stuck around this long, thanks so much for doing so. And if you've been following me long enough, you know I'm terrible at ending these videos, so I will just see you guys next time.